right. Welcome everybody. It's been some time. My name's Tisoc Estrada, and I'm gonna live stream some of my practice sessions. I got sort of a new setup. I didn't get anything new, but I did manage to move into a separate bedroom in the home, so there's more room. So I tried to make it look similar. I'm not sure if the lighting is going to work. It looks okay on my monitor, but if you're having trouble seeing or anything like that, just let me know. I'm going to play some, I'm going to sight read some carols for solo guitar, and I don't even know where I got these renditions of these pieces, but for those of you that might be interested, the book is called Carols for Guitar, arranged by John W. Duarte. And this is an old book. I don't even have the book. It's just copies, and they're all inside those plastic things, inside a Christmas folder. But I think it's an old book from the 60s. I think I remember seeing a date. Yeah, copyright 1963. But you might be able to find it. Again, Carols for Guitar, arranged by John W. Duarte. So I'm going to do the first two, which are Away in a Manger and God Rest You Merry Gentlemen. And I went ahead and I posted, I have the music, and I'm going to go ahead and see if this works. So let's see if I can do this. Everything's kind of on top of each other, so I'm trying to see around and behind things here. Oh, no, that's what I'm going to do next. Here we go. Let's see. You know what? I'm going to see if I could put this. Oh, no. Not that one. Try and move it over here and then make it a little bit bigger. That way you guys can see it. Yeah, I think that'll work. So that's what I'm looking at right there. Sorry, I should be looking here. It's been a while. But that's the page that I'm looking at here. So let's go ahead and sight read through this. I'll walk you through some things that I'm thinking about so that you can perhaps, take a peek inside how I'm seeing it. And I'll try and make this as educational as possible. Okay, so Away in a Major. First thing I'm going to notice is the key signature. A major, 3 sharps, F sharp, C sharp, and G sharp. So right away, boom, my mindset goes there. Time signature of 3/4. Okay, 1 2 3 1 2 3. We got to pick a bar. So 1 2 3. Come in on 3, followed by the 2 A's on 1. So let's see. Let's see what I can do. 2 1. Oops. This is not the Away in a Manger I was thinking of. Away in a manger, da-dum, ba-da-dum. That's what I was thinking of. That's obviously not what I'm playing. Let me go ahead and start over. Starts over. The fingering is kind of weird. I. Okay, I'm going to start M. So the A, I'm on the repeat. So whatever measure that is, I'm going to assume it's 8 or 9. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. Yeah, measure 9. So M, I, M. The reason I'm doing that is because I'm going from the 3rd string to the 2nd string. So I want to set myself up. So I'm playing M, I on the 3rd, and then M on the 2nd. That way I'm crossing strings in a more comfortable manner, I guess you could say. So that's what I would do. Let's just see. M, paying attention to that rest in the bass. How would I play that? M, A, and then A again, I guess? And then A again? I'm not sure. You can also use your thumb for those lower notes. Like so. Let it ring. In the bass, you got a half note. And that's it. Let me know if you can't hear anything. I think I got my levels right, but again, I got the light in front of my monitor. Everything's sort of still being, rearranged. But I wanted to make sure I get a live stream in because it's been some time, and unless I just, stumble through it, I'm gonna keep planning and planning and planning, and then I'm never gonna do it. So, all right, let's try that again. Let's see. Yeah. So that would mean I would start with my index finger, and then that would be M, I, N. That makes perfect sense. Yeah. So I would start index. Let's try again. There we go, Away in a Manger. All right, let's go to the next one, God Rest You Merry Gentlemen. So again, right away I'm going to go to the key signature. So obviously no sharps or flats. C major, A minor, time signature of 2-2, which could just be 4-4. It's just really a matter of how you want to look at it. Yeah, okay, let's see what I can do. Oh, I remember this one. When I was teaching at the high school, the local high school, I separated this out. So I had Sibelius at the time, and I wrote out the melody, the top part, as guitar 1, and then I wrote out the bottom guitar as guitar 2, and then I had like an ensemble for my for my students. I remember that. Okay, so let's see. I don't want to go too fast. See, it's a little dark. It looks like an F and an A in the bass. It looks like the F is crossed out. So that would have been F, A, C. Like that. But it's a bar. It's telling me to bar, so that doesn't make any sense. Or I could just do this, A and C. It's probably easier, which is probably why that's crossed out, that F. Oops. Come on. It's been a while. I have not been practicing, I'll be honest with you. So it's kind of choppy. I'm not playing very legato, I guess is what I'm trying to say. It's da, 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 da. But there you have it. Let me do it again. Let me do it again. Kind of hard to play legato. There you go. God rest you merry gentlemen. I figured I'd start with some Christmas pieces, get in the Christmas spirit. Okay, so, oh, you know what? I think I have 2 others. Yeah, I do. Let me go ahead and move this one now. No, not that one. Okay, so let's move this one. Let's make that bigger as well. Okay, there we go. So let's try this one. That is, oh come all you faithful. What page is that? Here we go. Move this over a little bit. All right, you should know this one. Hopefully it's the same one that we're all expecting. Yes. Oops. By the way, I'm not really concerned too much with the right hand, although I did talk about that earlier in one of the other pieces. But I'm just sort of sight reading. Let the blood flow first before I start going into this Bach piece. Okay, so I'm taking a look at 1, 2, 3, 4, measure 5. Measure 5, you have C on the top. You want to make sure you let that ring as you get to the F sharp. If you decide to learn this, just pointing that out. So you want to make sure you get that. With the second finger. Oh, I see. Played a little slow, but let's do that again. Let's do that again. No. Come on. Oh. Let the B ring. Hold on. Better. There we go. Oh, come all you faithful. Nice little rendition. No sharps, no flats. Nice and simple for you to learn if you're learning how to read. This is a great one. And then the last one, I don't think I've ever heard this before. Once in Royal David's City. Never played it before. Let's see how it turns out. So we are, again, in C major, 4/4 time signature. We're starting on the third count. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we got a bunch of eighth notes and chord notes. And nothing too difficult, I don't think. Let's see. 1, 2. Well, that's kind of weird. That's not normal. You see at the end, there's, well, you're probably over here somewhere. No, over here. Right there. That one right there. That measure. Usually, the measure completes. But if you look at it, that's only half of the measure. The other half of the measure is in the next staff line, so that kind of threw me off. It happens again in the second staff line too. Okay, now that I know that, let me start over. 1, 2. Is that right? Yeah. 1, 2. What do we got? All right. Why is there a 4 on the F? That might be a typo. The bottom staff line, the very first measure of the second staff line. Oops, I'm sorry. The first measure of the last staff line. Half of it, because the other half is in the previous staff line. So we have A, C, and F. And for whatever reason, there's a 4 next to that F. That should be a 1 for sure. Yeah. Here it's right. 1, 3, 4. There you have it. I don't know how fast or how slow this is supposed to go. So I'm just kind of, feeling it out. Nice, pretty sounding piece right there. All right, so that should get me warmed up. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump right into what I had planned. So I gave this to one of my students to practice over the holiday break. And then come next semester, he'll be hopefully well into it. Kevin, if you're watching, hopefully that's the case. All right, so let me go ahead and turn this off here, and then I'm gonna adjust. Yeah, okay, so let me click on that, make sure I'm moving the right one. Okay, so this is a Bach Prelude. We won't have enough time to learn the fugue and the allegro, but hopefully he can get the Prelude down. You can actually see some of my fingering there, I think. I wrote it down kind of lightly, not thinking that the copy machine would pick it up, or the scanner would, but looks like it did. And I can hardly see it on my end too, on the actual physical book. So let's jump right in and we'll learn it together. So if any of you are itching to learn some Bach, you can learn this with me. I'm just going to walk through it. I'll probably get through the first page, maybe the second page, I don't know. Something in my room is vibrating with this string, this note. I don't know if you can hear it. I can hear it. Okay, so we're drop D. We're in the key of D major. 2 sharps, F sharp, C sharp. And that's really about it. So I'm just gonna run through a couple of, I think I've played this on stream once before. I just kind of sight read, I just plowed through the whole thing. Probably didn't sound too good, but I'm gonna take it slower and walk you through the things I'm looking for, things I'm looking at, things I'm paying attention to, and see what comes of it. All right. Okay. Let's see. I know the beginning because I worked on this with Kevin for a little bit. N. Rest. I'm gonna do. I should probably do free strokes. Oops. Let me slow it down. That's going to make it easy to remember. Oh, that's not right. Oh, there it is. Can you see my finger? Let me know if you can see the fingers. I think you can. It's kind of hard to pick out from the monitor. But if you have any questions, obviously, just hit me up in the chat. I don't like that finger in the scene. I, A, M, I, M, A. That's what I have written down. Yeah, so I have A on the first string, M on the third string. So that's a little weird, but that allows me to play the next 3 notes, I, M, A. And I think if I remember, that was the goal. Just make sure I could play those last 3 notes, I, M, A. And adjust accordingly so that when I get to those 3 notes, I can start with my index finger and play I, M, A. Let me do that again. M, A, M. M, M, A, M. That's not right. I'm playing the wrong note. Oh, it's a minor shape. It might benefit some of you to, I know it does for me. I recognize triads, so it would be a good idea to learn your triads on the, like for example, this is a triad, right? D major triad, a major triad, we'll just say that, a minor triad. This is a minor triad, this is a major triad, minor triad, major triad, and those are on the first 3 strings, right? So if you were on the 2nd, 3rd, and the 4th string, then you could do major triad, minor triad, major triad, minor triad. This is a minor triad, major triad, major triad, minor triad. And then you would also do the 4th, the 5th, and the 3rd, the 4th, and the 5th string. And that might help when you're trying to memorize. Say, oh, I'm just arpeggiating a minor triad, or I'm just arpeggiating a major triad. Obviously, it's going to be specific to whatever piece you're playing. But that might come in handy. So knowing your shapes. Okay, second measure again. Minor triad. Right. Makes sense. I, M, A, 3, 2, 1 on measure 3. I, M, A. So I would set it up so that I can play I, M, A. So whatever, figure out what you're going to do in those previous 5 eighth notes. Really easy. M, I, M. Yeah, M, I, M. There's the string crossing. If you want to avoid it, obviously figure it out. Let's do that again. Let me go back to measure 3. Yeah, that's something I would practice too. Or I'd just be careful of M, I on the 3rd, M on the 4th. That's what I have. I could probably do M, A, M. That's an option too. That way I'm not doing a string crossing or an awkward string crossing. M, A, M. M, A, M. And then, but if we do that, then we have an awkward string crossing going into the next measure. M on the 4th to I on the 2nd. So there are gonna be some you just can't avoid. Let's see. How would I play that? How did I write that in? M, I can't see. Probably M, M, A, M, and then A into measure 5. M, I, M, A. No. I can't do, okay, measure 5. I can't play I, M, and I could. And then I have an awkward string crossing going on to the first string. I'd have to use my middle finger. So it might make more sense. It might make more sense to go I, M, I, M. There is more than one option, so I'm just pointing that out. By the way, I'm going to start over. The first 2 measures, treat those as phrases, separate phrases. Okay, and then this one would be probably, well, let's see. They're kind of combined in a way, so you wouldn't want to play that the same way. You want to keep going. Those eighth notes leading into measure 4 kind of propel it forward. So you want to just don't stop the flow there so much. I see. So going into measure 5, we have 4 pinky, open, bar for that F sharp. You're gonna place the bar. So I'm playing the F sharp, but I'm not playing it with the tip of my finger. I'm playing with the base of my bar, and then into measure 5, the bar comes down. What am I doing? There we go. And then I could play the rest of the bar when I hit measure 5. So I'm going to go back to measure 3. You could think of, okay, all right. Here's one way you could look at it. Measure 1 into measure 2, the phrases are very distinct, very clear. They're separated, clearly. Going from measure 3 to measure 4, they're not separated, although you can hear them as separate phrases. It's just that the first note of measure 4, that G sharp, would be the end of the third phrase, and then the E following would be the beginning note in the next phrase. So, measure 3. And then, beginning of the next phrase is E, D, E. End of the phrase is going to be that D at the beginning of measure 5. Beginning of the next phrase. End of that phrase. Next phrase is going to be the A. That's how I would look at it. Is there a chance I'm wrong? Yeah, of course. But that's the way it makes sense to me that way. So knowing that, you can go ahead and say to yourself, okay, let's go ahead and make some musical choices with that knowledge in mind. All right, and then you decide how you want to do that. So, I'm going to go back to measure 3. Oh, that's what's happening. I'm putting my thumb on the 4th string. So when I play that F sharp at the end of measure 3, I'm not getting anything. So I gotta stop doing that. And I'm stopping that string because I'll get a slight sympathetic vibration. I think that's why I'm stopping it. Oops. I'm not using the right fingers. You know what I'll do is I'll make sure next time I wrote them down softly, lightly, so that when I make photocopies, they don't pick them up. And then, my students could figure it out how they want to do it on their own. So I may just make a photocopy of this and then write those fingers, at least the fingers that I've already mapped out, so I'm not constantly, having to squint my eyes to see what I'm doing. So I'll do that for the next time. Okay, where was I? Oh, I'll go back to measure 3. Taking my time. I don't agree, by the way. Notice I'm keeping those bass notes. I'm letting those bass notes ring. That makes sense to me. If I were to play it as written, I'd go. I stop it. Could do that. It doesn't sound good. So I'm gonna let them ring. Right? Hopefully you notice that in measure 5. That's an easy one. That's an easy one to pull off. Separation of the phrases. Do one more time. The last two groups of eighth notes into measure 5. Same thing here. We got a cadence there. Oops. I'm squinting like it's going to help. Same thing on measure 7, I and A to finish it off. So I would figure out a way to make sure I land on I on that G sharp. And that G sharp's on the 4th string, by the way. 4th, 3rd, 2nd. So measure 7. B, D. Oh, that's why. 3, 1, but they're right next to each other. Yeah, it throws me off. Finger comes down from D to C sharp. C natural. I love it. Not something you expect, but it just sounds good. Not speeding up, I'm getting ahead of myself. So I'm going to go back to measure 6. Notice the shape I'm giving the phrase. I'm dipping down as I end the phrase and coming back up, climbing back up as I begin the next phrase in measure 7. See if you can hear it. I'm also using a bit of rubato. You don't want to do too much, not in Baroque. It's pretty straightforward. But I'm noticing people, if you watch a bunch of videos on YouTube, people tend to do more than what I prefer. But just be careful. Don't want to make it too sappy. But some people kind of, get right there. And it's a little too much. Let's see. Makes sense to go A and A. I don't think I have any fingers written down there. No, I don't. A and A. That way I can go A on the 2nd to I on the 4th string. So this is, I'm constantly thinking about that. I'm not just running through the notes and trying to figure out what I'm playing. I mean, because, once you get to a certain level of sight reading, you shouldn't be thinking about that. You should just be able to see the note and know what you're playing, which takes a lot of time. But once you're beyond that, then your focus is, okay, what fingers am I using? How am I doing this? And that becomes almost the thing to worry about, not the notes. The notes are like, okay, let me just figure this. The notes are automatic almost. I am. It makes perfect sense, right? Measure 8. A, M, A. Oh, first finger. A, M, A, I, M. I M A. I M A. M I M I. Makes sense. I am I. Yeah. All right. I'm gonna go back again. Go back to measure 6. See if I'm missing anything. This particular measure, I would stop the bass. And the reason I would stop the bass is to make it very clear to the audience, to the listeners, that I'm repeating the phrase that I started with, but in a brand new key. We've already modulated to a new key. So instead of playing D major, we're playing an A major. So that way the melody is clearly the only thing that the audience is listening to. And maybe it'll get them to think about, oh, that's what he played earlier, right, at the beginning. So that's my reasoning. Oops. Yeah. How would you do that? Okay, 1, 4, 2, and then first finger. I'm thinking left hand. Yeah. By the way, that's really important when you do that hammer on. I'm sorry, on that pull off on measure 9. Let's see. Shift so that you're ready to play that G in the bass. You don't want to do this, and then this, right? So just do one motion that covers both of them. So keep that in mind. Let's see. You know what? I'm trying to remember. I think if I didn't write the fingers down, I was just alternating. I am. I'm going to try that. So anytime I don't see the fingers, oh no, I take that back. I think sometimes I didn't write them down because it was obvious to me, and other times I didn't write down because it's just I am. Never mind. All right, well, let's just work through. Measure 9. Really important on measure 10, keep your hand stable when you play the pull off from G to F sharp into the A, because you're going to go into this. Your hand needs to be in perfect position in order for you to play this particular measure flawlessly. So just be aware of that. It's an important point. There's no motion happening here with my left hand. Everything is already laid out for you. As long as you keep it in the right position, you're going to be fine. You might want to consider lifting off that D sharp in measure 10, because the melody is ba-dum, not bum, with a harmony on top. Be careful not to just lift it off entirely, because then you might hear the C sharp. Like that. So either make sure your bar is covering only top bottom. What I mean by that is you don't need a bar all 5 strings. The only notes you're playing are the fifths. The only strings you're playing are the 5th and the 1st. So you could just curve that bar so you only get those. Everything else is dead. That way you could lift off that D sharp and not worry about that C sharp ringing. The problem is you have an A. And that's going to be that's right in the middle of the bar, right? So then what you could do is release the pressure, but keep your finger on the string, so there's no chance that the C sharp is audible. It's very slight. I don't know if you can see it in this lighting. Oops. But it's just a slight motion. very slight, just releasing the pressure. Why 3? Let me go back to, I'm gonna go back to measure 6. I'm just gonna take this nice and slow so I cover as much as I can. And again, I'm just saying things that are coming to mind. Obviously things are gonna be specific to those of you that are watching. You're gonna struggle with things that I just breeze through, and for that I apologize. I'm not gonna be able to go over everything because everyone's gonna have their own, their own needs, weaknesses, and strengths for that matter. So, okay, measure 6. But I'm gonna go ahead and make this a live stream series, and obviously the live stream will be kept, and you can always return and watch it as a video on demand on YouTube, and you can do that too. But I also plan on doing another piece by Barrios, and that one is going to be. That's the piece I gave another one of my students, Jason. So Jason, if you're watching, I'll be going over that, and you can get a head start come January or February, whenever the semester starts. And that will also be a series for those of you that are interested in following along with me. So I'll have those two, and then hopefully in the near future I'll get back into the solo guitar playing, Sagreras. Anyways, I'm off on a tangent. Back to measure 6. Back to measure 6. There we go. Wrong fingering, but I'm just going through the notes. Listen to how dark it gets, that C natural that I was talking about earlier. You might want to consider getting a little bit darker tone-wise. So let's see. I'm going to go back to measure 6. Once I hit measure 8, I'm going to try and play a little bit more tosto, a little bit more round, and see if that makes it a more enjoyable listening experience. Oops, rushing. Oh, I shouldn't let that ring. I'm fumbling through this, sorry. Obviously, it would probably work better in context, instead of stopping every 5 seconds. Something to consider. Yeah, measure 9. Yeah, that's going to take some practice. I am. Is that what I have? Yeah, I-M-I-A. I-M-I-A. Yeah, that might need some isolated practice. I would probably just do that. I'll save all of those moments for off stream, but something to watch for, definitely. What finger was I using? A-M-I. Yeah, so I got to use M. M-I. M. makes sense. M, I, M, M, I, M, measure 10, I. Yeah. I, M, A. Perfect. Write that down. This is where you don't need to move your hand. All of this is right there. It's right there for you. Talked about that D sharp. Is that a 3 or a 2? Looks like a 3. I would stop that E in measure 11 so you don't get this. Tune up. Excuse me. That's the one. All right. Measure 11. Again, phrases are being connected. Da 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 da. End of that phrase, measure 12. The phrase in measure 12 begins on D. Da da da. I'm assuming that continues onward. Back to measure 11. It's a shift. 3, 1, shift. That A sharp, man. Sounds so nice. I remember a quote. I don't know who it was, but there was a quote that says, if you listen to enough Bach, you don't want to listen to anything else. And it's so true. Once you sort of dive in and you start listening to all of this stuff, like, you don't need to listen to anything else. It's interesting. Anyways, measure 11. Yeah, stop that high E. Open E. And then here we have a shift. It makes sense why the fingering says use your third finger. But using the second finger is not that big a deal. I'll use third finger. E. D, E. Wait, what? Oh, that's why. Measure 13. Oh, that might be something you want to practice. Measure 13. It's just a weird shift. So you're here, and then you're putting your third finger and your fourth finger on the second fret. So that might be something to want to. So I would just block it out. So measure 13, the first 3 notes, first 3 strings, sorry. The first group of 8th notes, you can just do that. You don't need to play the second string open because you're going to play the C anyways. Into this, 3, 4, 2. So 3 and 1, 3, 4, 2. 3 and 1, 3, 4, 2. That's what I would do. anyways. Now we're repeating what we played at the excuse me, what we played at the very beginning, but it's in a minor key. So here I would stop the bass to make sure that everyone's attention goes to that fact that I'm repeating that motif, but in a minor key. And that's what I would do. Back to measure 13. I mean, you're gonna have to stop it anyways, because the B's it's a fretted note. Minor triad, help you remember. Should you let that ring? Maybe not. It might actually make sense to let all of these B's die out in the bass, just to separate from the major portion with the minor portion. That's the first thing that comes to my mind. So not only are you emphasizing the melody being repeated by stopping the bass, like you do in measure 6, you're also doing it in measure 15 and 16 as a way to separate, I think I just said that, as a way to separate the major from the minor. So I'm back to measure 14. Oh, I gotta go to the next page. Let's see. There it is. I'll turn this one off. Let's move this one over. Nice and big here. That should work. Let's see. I'm going to go back to measure 12, which is not on the screen, but it's just that one measure, into measure, 13, which is not on the screen, into measure 15. See if there's anything I'm missing that I could point out. Legato, definitely legato. From the A to the G. I don't want to hear. I want to hear nice and connected. I'll work out the fingers later. Blank. Measure 17 might be a little awkward. Just look at the fingering that's written down. I think you could see it. A, M, A, I. And then I, M, A, M, notice that soft landing? That's a resolution. So gentle. Or maybe not. Let's see. Depends on what we're doing after, I guess. Oh, that's a little awkward. No, it's not. Okay, lift off the bar there. I'm barring on measure 20. I'm barring. You don't need a bar there. Notice the bar on measure 19 stops on measure 19. Let's go back to measure 19. That's a stretch, by the way, that E sharp. E sharp, that's a stretch. Don't bar after this point. Your fourth finger is going to guide its way back to D sharp. No bar. That way you can play F sharp to A. And there's your shift. I just want to keep going. Okay, let's do it again. What time is it? It's already an hour? I was only planning to do an hour, so let's just do this once or twice more, and then we'll call it there. So I'm going to go measure 14. I think I called this measure 12 at one point. Sorry. Measure 14, which is the last measure of the previous page, so that's not on your screen. And see if there's anything else I can pick up on that you might want to consider taking a closer look at. Stop that F sharp. You don't want to do this. So you can prepare your ring finger when you play E, so that you only hear E. This measure, really important that you have good technique, because everything's all laid out for you. There isn't a need for you to change and adjust your hand. So here it is, measure 16. Nothing, just the fingers. I already talked about measure 17. The fingering for the right hand's a little odd. That's a bit of a stretch going into measure 18 and G sharp in the bass. Yeah, definitely, I talked about this earlier, measure 19, the soft landing, but crescendo as you climb up that arpeggio. That will sound really nice. Notice a bit of rubato there. And then push back, pull back, push back, into measure 19, along with that crescendo. That'll sound really nice. What should we do with that B? That sounds a little choppy. I'll let you decide what you want to do there. Stretch. No bar. Talked about that. Get louder here because you're climbing up. This is, with the exception of, I believe, the beginning, this is the next highest note. Oh, are we shifting down? That's a shift. Okay, legato. Going into the last two notes of measure 20. Shift. You're going to want to practice that for sure. You're going to shift fourth finger on the third fret, third finger on the second fret. That's not very common. Sort of, but not very. So practice that. I would just do the last two counts, last two groups of eighth notes. Oh, it's no bar, sorry. No bar. Just like that. Don't overdo it. Don't overthink it. Nice and slow. Why do I keep barring there? Into measure 20. And just like that. Okay, so we're on measure 21. I think I'm going to stop there. In the meantime, I'll practice this so that the next time you can hear the progress. And then we'll continue without having looked at it too much so we can learn it together. And then, like I said, I'll do another live stream where we focus on a piece by Barrios, and I'll have the music just like this. Let me know if you have any questions, if there's anything I missed or perhaps you're confused over. Love to help you out. And of course, in the bottom of the description to these videos, there will be some links where you can, that'll direct you to some donation links if you'd like to make a small donation or you'd like to subscribe to my Patreon. That would obviously be, it would be very kind of you to do that if you're interested. And I'll leave it there. Okay, so PayPal and Patreon on the in the links. Questions, just hit me up, make a comment, and we'll just go from there. I definitely would love to connect with those of you who have been watching for some time or who are new, who only were introduced to me on my hiatus. So we'll stop there. Otherwise, I'm just going to keep rambling, all right? You guys have a good night, and I will see you all. I haven't scheduled the next live stream, but I'll make sure I give you a heads up. All right, you guys take care.